Anybody?
I don't even know if they can hear me.
Wow, we're doing good. This has to be the most epic.
Now.
This must be the most epic start to the stream we've ever had. Welcome to episode 7.
Now they hear us.
Yay! we're all good now. It's all happening. So there we go. How long did that take? That was a full 4 minutes of just faces, and not even my face. So yeah, we're doing great. So that's good. So apparently the music's a little loud, so we'll turn that down somewhat. Let's get that all the way down. Okay.
Should we mute in Discord?
Oh, yes, please.
Okay.
All right, so here we are and welcome. So to get things started off, I guess the first thing out the gate is we have to say congratulations to Sweaty, To Die For, and Snowy, who got through the FIFA E qualification and are the South Africa representatives for the FIFA Rocket League World Cup, which I believe is going to happen in December. We have no dates on that. A little bit of a muted event in that it wasn't broadcast, so we never got to see any of the action. The lead up was a bit chaotic, but hopefully this is an annual event, and it will be a lot. The build up to it will be a lot more hype as we go into it. But in the meantime, Sweaty, To Die For, Snowy, congrats. Go and represent us, well, please.
Well, I couldn't imagine any other team representing us, so I think that's a fair way to go into it. I'm sorry I didn't get to see it happen. I mean, that makes me a little bit sad. But to be honest, who else was gonna represent us? Apart from Limitless, who've been on top for so long.
Yeah, I guess. So that does bring and it's probably its own major topic in a podcast. And Olympic, you can weigh in on this, but I think, there's a lot of uncertainty about the rules, and my own view is that the rules will not change. We're going to have the same situation we did last season. And I go, well, as a region, before we complain about it, there's a couple of things we have to do. Is first, the rest of the local teams have got to figure out how to beat Limitless. Secondly, we got to figure out how to beat people that come here on 180 ping. Then we can worry about the physical invaders. So we've got our work cut out for us, but I feel like there's a lot of our own house we've got to get in order, Olympic.
Yeah, 100%. But honestly, talking about trying to beat these teams after the plays I saw in Comic-Con, I'm gonna talk about Comic-Con a lot because all of the players, all of the teams just brought up such a high level for the game. I was even speaking to it about friends, family a couple of weeks ago. From where we started, say 2 years ago to where we are now is completely different to like the play that is now. Unity making finals, getting that bracket reset. Genesis, amazing roster, 3 great players. Like honestly, next season Limitless have to count their chickens because they don't know what's going to happen. They're not going to be the number 1 team for much longer, I believe. Like the skill of our region is just getting higher and higher. And it's going to be a scary thing, not just for Limitless, but for EU invaders, NA invaders, anyone. We'll take them on one at a time.
Yeah, that's fair. And I think I was having a long conversation in my long 12-hour stream, Bromy, and I know you caught a bunch of that because you were on night shift, but talking to the guy who's sort of being the evangelist for Call of Duty, and he was saying how fortunate Rocket League is because we have publisher support, and there is actually a path for local players to pro play and global play, where Call of Duty get none of that. They are literally... whatever exists in Call of Duty, it's because of the passion of that community.
Do you know what? And I'm just going to say this straight off the bat. He caught you at the end of a stream where we were busy kicking Call of Duty's ass. I think he was just trying to make you feel sorry for them so that you'd let them take some home of that 20k prize pool. That's how I feel.
All right, well, okay, that's hardcore bromeo. Jeez, this is what you're like when you're underslept. Okay, fine. All right, well, that's the FIFA World Cup. A little bit about RLCS, and there'll be much to talk about as the months roll out. But talking about that 12-hour stream and the ACGL Mythic competition. For those who don't know what on earth is going on, we are in the midst of a battle. It's an ACGL are running a community challenge, and they've pitted 5 gaming titles against one another: Valorant, Fortnite, Call of Duty, Siege, and Rocket League. And there are a number of ways to make points, and by the 27th of October, whichever title has gathered the highest number of points will get a 20,000 Rand tournament from ACGL. And if my technicals are working, not that one, we want that one. There we go. So this is where things stand. Actually, I should get an update because this is about an hour old. So this is where it all stands. Rocket League is in the lead with 25,185 points. And now Call of Duty are 1,000 points behind us. And where we have done well is when we focus our attention. So Sparky and Ender and a bunch of guys did a grind session a week ago and got like 4,000 or 5,000 points. I did a stream, we got a few thousand. I did the 12-hour stream, we got 11,000. But where Call of Duty are good is they are just consistent. Every day they're grinding away, and that's how they catch up to us. So we would still like to win this. And what is the date today, gentlemen? 14th.
Great, beard.
It is indeed.
What was the gap after your 12-hour stream?
After the 12-hour stream, we were I believe it was 4,000 ahead.
Yeah, it was between 3 and 4K.
Yeah.
Wow.
So
Okay.
so they've gained like 3,000 points over the weekend, and I know I took a break. I was so done with Rocket League this weekend. I was like,
I definitely took a break.
yeah. Well, you had weird other reasons, but we'll come to that. Essentially, I think everybody else took a break. So we have improved by about another 1,000 points. So it's not like we did nothing. There has been stuff, but we should carry on and we should win this. This is the first time Call of Duty have ever been properly challenged. They normally sleepwalk their way through these community challenges. Not now, because Rocket League has woken up. So let's carry on with that. And that brings me to the end of immediate news. And in terms of the schedule tonight, maybe so we can either start with breaking down week 5 or the big Rebellion tournament, Bromeo.
Yeah, so the Rebellion thing was great. It was fraught with technical difficulty from the start. I was riding on 24 hours of no sleep, but luckily with a select hand of shock troopers, we managed to get it together at the last moment and pull it off. So, first, before we go deep into it, I'd like to say thanks to Lolanizer, Unguarded Ace, Savash, and Beer Machine, all of the guys from the RSC community who came and helped out. Couldn't have done it without you guys. But let's talk about Rebellion. So essentially, all of this was supposed to be league versus free agents, right? And so 3 franchises of league players made up of different teams, as well as 2 free agent franchises, rebel franchises, to play in a round robin format. And the group stages happened this weekend. And I did send the database to you, Greybeard. I'm not sure if you want to pull it up.
The database?
Yes, I did. And so basically...
Where in the database? Where do you want me?
You can just go straight to the standings. The standings... Oh, wait, actually, go to the teams, because that's a good place to start.
Do I have... Hold on. Which database?
If you read your chat...
read my chat. Now we're getting...
Yeah. If you respond to the message, I'm going to tag you in it right now. You didn't see it.
I did not see it.
I sent you the lovely spreadsheet, as I do.
As you do. Okay, I see it. Okay, so here we go. Da-dan. There we go.
Hey! Okay, so... This is basically how it went down, and you'll see over there, if you scroll to the right, that is the total franchise standings. I'm not sure if we can get a zoom in on that because it's kind of small.
There you go.
There we go.
Zoom
okay,
is
so
possible.
our 5 franchises were Brodenite Alliance, Bomb Squad, Rejects, and Replacements. So what was a little disappointing was on the day of the event, the Replacements went and told us that they didn't have a Master and Elite side, and the Rejects didn't have a Prospect side. So that was pretty sad because they were forfeit straight off the bat. But what was really, really interesting was the dominance of Brodenite. So now Brodenite was an amalgamation of Bro, Dynasty, and Unitox. And I know Sean's gonna, love this because Dynasty on top, but it's the one time that Flosi didn't win. Even though Flosi just plays his entire DSQ roster as the master team for Alliance. We're not going to talk about that either. But let's go quickly to the prospect standings so you can see who are going to be competing in the final this weekend. So this is interesting. This is literally the only tier in which a Rebel franchise has placed top 2. So this weekend, your prospect final is going to be Bomb Squad versus Rejects. Both of them having a brilliant run of things. Only Bomb Squad went through that entire thing unbeaten. And the Rejects won 3 games and lost 1-3-1. So it's going to be an interesting time of things. Let's go to the next tier standings through to Rival.
Where do I find these, bro?
Scroll up.
This up. Oh, there.
Yep.
And
you
then
see that's a drop-down menu where it says prospect. Yes.
Okay, look at this.
I mean,
it's not. No, it's not giving me that option.
Oh wait, let me have a look now. I can't see it as it's all zoomed in. It is a drop-down. Just scroll to the right.
Okay.
Oh, do you know why? It's because you are not an admin.
You didn't give me perms, man. I'm like,
I didn't give.
There you go.
There we go.
There you go.
And so, big ups to Flosi's Alliance roster. They absolutely cleaned the floor in Rival, and Brodenite again is going to go up against them in the finals this weekend for Rival side. So let's move on quickly to Elite. And that is Brodenite versus Bomb Squad, which is really, really cool to see, knowing that the franchises gave it a good going. Brodenite went unbeaten in the Elite tier standing, so they are the team to beat. Moving on into Master quickly. This was fraught with plenty forfeits because Masters don't like sticking around for too long. But again, Brodenite on top with Bomb Squad making it through in second. Alliance forfeited a lot of their games. Replacements and, Rejects didn't have a master side. And Replacements won 2 of their games and lost 1 game 3-0 and 1 game 3-1. So picking up a total of 7 points. So unfortunately, that's not enough to push them through. They needed 1 more point to creep it up in second position. But this weekend's final is going to be Brodenite versus Bomb Squad. So I'm just going to move across here quickly. Just move to the left so you can have a look at the teams. So we can do a quick shout out to the guys who participated.
Oh, the teams.
Tab.
Bromeo,
yeah, there we go.
Is the final this weekend going to be streamed?
Yes, it will be.
Huge. Let's go.
So basically what's going to happen is it is going to be, I actually haven't decided. It depends on how much patience Greybeard has, whether it's going to be a best of 7 or a best of 5. But all of these finals will be streamed. It'll be Prospect Final first, then Rival, then Elite, then Master. So
could I? What time are we doing? Is this Saturday, right?
This is Saturday. You've got to decide the time. This is still early days, so
okay.
We'll figure it out. But
yes.
Bomb Squad versus Rejects. In Prospect, they are going to be taking each other on. So Jake's the Snake, Unguarded Ace, Alleged Drill, and Joss taking on, who was it? The Rejects, which is Berserker, Draat, and Black Cat. And then obviously moving into Rival, the finals you're going to be seeing this weekend is Alliance, which is Wavy, Chadster, iFlyAware, and Chaos versus Brodenite, Complex, Acro, Mr. Crane, and Stacy Jacks. So
those are 2 of my boys. Go Complex, go Stacy.
And
Yes,
those are
sir.
two huge teams. So I'm gonna really, really watch out for that one. Elite's final is going to be Brodenite versus Bomb Squad. So Brodenite is Clever Rabbit, MX, Tim Tam, and Swerve versus Bomb Squad's Arts. I think that's Rezka, Spiker, and Splashy, which is also going to be fantastic. And
Sean didn't make the cut there.
No.
no,
We wanted actual Rocket League players.
It was proper,
People who talk about Rocket League.
Rocket League players. That were
And then in Master, it is
mascot.
going to be Brodenite versus Bomb Squad. So that's Olympic, Technic, Eliakim, Happy Meal, with against Scruffy, Jerome, Douglas, and Willant. So that is going to be a belter.
On paper, though, to me, it looks like Brodenite are on paper favorites. Olympic, I mean, I feel like in that matchup, Olympic and team have more to lose than to gain. If they win, they're kind of expected to. If they lose, like, what's wrong with you people?
No, that roster. I'm
you say
happy.
that, but weirder things happen.
Yeah, I'm happy. I'm happy sitting on the bench here. The three players are insane. Technic, everyone knows, amazing performance getting to finals. Eli, can't really speak about Eli. He's one of the best in the country, and Happy, experience plus accolades. I'm just here to get the free win. I'm gonna be sitting there drinking, having snacks. If they need me, they need me. I'll just do what I want.
Wow. Okay. Well, there we go. So, So Scrappy's interesting because he's kind of been around, but he seems to have come up quite a bit in his game. You start seeing him in these higher level activities. He did quite well in the 1v1. So definitely an up and comer there. And then Jerome Moment, I don't know too much about. I mean, I know him, but I don't know him, if that makes any sense.
I just think it's really cool because seeing these boys develop over the season. Scruffy, I've seen in the bro server for years now. So it's really, really cool to see these guys, get better and progress to the top. And Scruffy's definitely one of those to watch out for. He's consistently good. So make no mistake, I think Bomb Squad's a threat. We talk an easy game of Brodenite, but I think come game day, we might get a little surprise here and there.
All right. All right. Well, stay tuned. Some big matchups coming on the weekend.
Well, I'm excited for it. Greybeard has promised to put his best foot forward. He hasn't promised anything, actually. This is me. This is me trying to put reverse psychology into here to make it a banger of a stream because these boys fought it out last Saturday. They went through a grueling incursion against these rebel players, and for the most part, it was a successful fight back, except for Prospect. Prospect was caught lacking. So just listen, if the rebels manage to take the victory this weekend, Prospect, you will not live it down until you manage to take this back next season.
And then at the beginning of the stream, did we say how's it to anybody in chat?
We did, but you had us all muted, so they couldn't hear us.
I was saying hello to everybody, but clearly I can't have nice things, so it's okay. It's punishment, I suppose.
All right, and then there was, there was something I wanted to mention, and it's now completely slipped my mind. So never mind that. That's right. There was a couple of comments in chat that I wanted to respond to, and if I can find them, we shall do that. I see Desolation's watching, and I'm hoping he's taking note of the disaster that the stream is, and might take an interest in helping us sort out our podcast. Oh my word!
And that's just a cry for help from all of us to you. Thank you for our broadcast sponsors who did not sponsor this stream,
yes.
But just in case you want to, please, you know where we live.
Yeah, no, I think that's a very good point you make there, Bromeo. We have to distance this broadcast from what Genesis Extreme do. Absolutely. Gosh. Okay. All right. So I think are we ready to talk about the week that was?
Yes, let's carry on. see
I'm going to,
Desolations giving me some-
unfortunately, I'm going to have to leave soon. But before I do, I just want to talk
What?
about.
No. Whoa. Olympic. You've been going on and on about get me on, and now you come on and I've got to go. What on earth?
Well, I can go. I can stay. It's.
Listen, the guest slot is you're here for the duration, bro. It's not like breeze in, breeze out. But
This isn't an interview, boy.
Man thinks this is a group chat.
No, I'm just here to offer insight. I haven't been involved in the last like week or two, so it's just going to be me having a nap while you talk.
No.
Well, we're figuring it out as
You're
well.
going to throw in your comments there. And I see Flosi, there was a possibility of Nations being in the guest slot tonight. And Olympic was fastest finger first. He got there first and confirmed first. More than happy. And we do have an ongoing guest slot. So it is open. You can submit your request to be on and we will gladly consider it.
Except
I mean,
Flosi.
if the guest is extra good, Sean could drop off. I mean,
I'm literally still waiting for my lungs to come back from Lungebond, so I don't know what's going on right now.
But Olympic, we didn't mention in the Mythic Challenge that Olympic did commit himself on Twitter that he would go bald if Rocket League wins this challenge, and that should be in more than a 20,000 rand tournament. We should be keen to see that happen. But Olympic, you might as well show the progress you're making on your way to being bald.
Yeah, I'm pretty confident in our community, and I just want to be so smug when I see the COD boys finally lose a community challenge. So I took the initiative, and I'm also doing it for charity. So they're
Almost.
So
is that a number 1, 2, or 3?
It's a number 2, but if we win, I might take a razor to it, make it fully.
You gotta make a naught, bro.
So I think it must be worth noting that Greybeard says he's bald for this. He's shaving his head, for this challenge. He is already going bald just naturally. That's a separate topic which we'll discuss on another podcast. But I do like the bruiser look. It suits your demo play style. I think you should keep it, man.
Yes, 100%. I wanna look mean, but I want to be nice and cozy on the inside. I'm trying to be not a arsehole anymore.
All right. Well, we wish you. We've all got to set star high goals for ourselves, and that's a pretty star high goal. So good luck.
I think it's going to be very hard, that one. That's a lot of discipline, I'm not going to lie.
But we appreciate the effort, gentlemen. Are we ready to talk about the week that was?
Sure.
Yeah, Sean's ready to tell us all about it.
All
right,
about the
fine.
week that I can't remember much about, but it's okay.
Well, we're going to see. This is what graphics are for. So so do you want to start with the?
Let's go through
results
the results,
Okay.
and then we can go do the players of the week and team of the week, and then we can move on to fixtures coming up. All right.
All right. Good. Should we start with Propsect?
Propsect. Yes.
Propsect. Okay. Good. Here we go. This is the week that was in Prospect.
Someone has changed my week that was for Prospect.
Yeah. Well, that's part of the action. What's coming up?
I suppose, but yeah.
Man, look at these jokers. Look at these jokers.
So what I do know is Jokers played on stream and they had one hell of a series. I do know it was a 3-1 series, but I do remember there was one game where it was an 8-0 result.
Yo.
If I'm not wrong.
Damn.
Am I right?
Well, I see the dog man's in chat. He can confirm.
I think it was 8-0. So that's hectic. And they played against Redirect Accelerate to get that 3-run result. I do know that before they were going up into this matchup, they were quite they had respect for Redirect because they felt that was a very strong team that they were coming up against.
Yeah.
So I think they set themselves up mentally to go in there with respect for their teammates, but with respect for their opponents. But they're going to do their best to win this series essentially, and that they did after getting that 8-0. I was like, okay,
Well,
That's
listen.
mad.
So the Dogman confirmed the 8-0 score line, and that's done wonders for the goal difference, sitting at double
Yeah.
Cubs at number 2, which is pretty impressive.
All I saw was goal difference. Let's go. carry the elite and rivals in Dynasty, please.
I'm telling you, Prospect are getting us over the line, Sean.
And then the next game was another 3-1, which was between Cubs and Shadow Obscurity, which I'm not too sure how they felt going up against that one. I'm very Bromeo, you'd actually know more regarding the Prospect teams, please.
So he's like, I'm going to tell you about the Prospects, but I'm only going to tell you about my team because it's the only one
I'm going
I care
to
about.
because you know what, Dynasty Flocy had his week last week, but Dynasty had their week this week. So
Cubs are a very good-looking team at the moment. They absolutely steamrolled my Prospect side just a little while ago. And to see a result like that against an Obscurity side, which is also looking really, really good at the moment, fantastic result for them. Crusaders pulling up a draw against a Megaforce, also considered a good result for Crusaders, given the fact that they were 1-3 before that. And obviously, the result of the week, actually, just talking about teams for a second, is this DSQ versus Trollers result, pulling out the draw. Trollers have been looking dismal. I can say that because I'm on that team. But the boys really pulled it out for this event. We knew that if we didn't play properly, DSQ were going to absolutely roll us. So even though it was only a draw, we're really proud of that result. And also, yeah.
No, I was going to ask, was it a? Do you remember how the games went in terms of?
Okay. So if you want the timeline, and how this event unfolded, DSQ opened up strong. I think they beat us 4-1 in the first game. Morale was in the pits. Next game, we came out fighting. We finished the game. We lost within 1 goal difference.
Wow.
The following game, we won 2-1. And that's when we had the spirit. And our final game, we beat them 4-1. So that was the comeback of the century. Obviously, DSQ were in tears. We were in happy tears because it means we didn't lose another game on the trot. So, yeah, it was a good result all around.
Oh, yeah, you got to do something about that goal difference. Olympic, how much do you follow the tiers below yours?
I only keep up with basically your team, you Complex, and all those, because Complex is my boy, and you guys. I heard you. I'm not going to spoil anything. Well, but you guys won week 5, didn't you?
Well, we kicked ass and took names, and I say that having been wholly absent from from the team this last week.
But yeah, that's all I really know. As long as I see Dynasty at the top and your team winning in their respected tier, I'm happy because I know Masters is going to do a job with or without me, and they did that last week as well.
So 2 3-1s, 3 draws in Prospect, and I think we're settling quite comfortably into the top of the table there. Although, to be fair, everything down to 5th place is still very tight. So we've got week 6, 7, 8, and 9. Four more weeks left, and
essentially half the league remaining.
So, but this is the point. Every week, up to this point, we've spoken about how there's still time. But we're on the downhill now. Now, none of the teams can afford really bad weeks. Yes, Jokers are doing great, but now it's, they're going to be looking at winning 2 of those weeks, a draw in one of them, and not more than a loss. Because it's not a comfortable lead. They're 1 point ahead of the Cubs.
So this is what's important to note, and I'm not sure if this has ever been explained to the viewers, but that solid red line below Cubs, that is automatic qualification into playoffs, which means you make it into the semifinals off the bat if you finish in top 2, right? that dotted line just below redirect accelerate, that means you qualify for play-ins, which means you have to play a semi-final before you can go and play the semi-final. So the positions 3 to 6 will face it out until there's 2 of them. And those 2 will go against the top 2, which in this current situation is Jokers and Cubs. And that will be the semi-final and final. That would be playoffs. So anybody position 6 and above can qualify for playoffs. It's just when you finish 3rd to 6th, it's going to be a bit of a longer journey to get there. So position 7 to 10, there is still all the opportunity in the world to make top 6. You still have 4 games and you can make it in. So whether you're Potato, Tswana, Crusaders, or Trollers, you can still make it through. The season is still salvageable, and don't look at the Jokers and the Cubs too heavily because we have seen much mightier fall.
And that sounds like Bromeo's pumping himself up there for the Trollers.
No.
There's still time, boys. There's still time. We can still do it.
Last season, we finished, I think, in 3rd. And we went against Alex DeFatak's team, who just squeaked in at 6th, and they absolutely creamed us. Wow. And we were doing great the entire season, no worries. And I still wake up with cold sweats thinking about that little French Mauritian guy sitting on his island beating me at Rocket League. And I will never let that down. Season 2 will haunt me forever.
I think him and Bruv also still have cold sweats from only coming second for the
Yeah. He is a professional bridesmaid. Moving on to rival, and that's week 6. So let's put that on week 5. So we see the results as they happen. Not too many draws, just the one draw at the top with Bravo and Order of Oaks, and an important draw because they are not too far from one another.
Well, I think this is actually the tier that you know most about, Greybeard, because this is your team, the Jacks. So I think you should take us through these because you know the teams.
Well, a wonderful performance from the Jacks, who got a sweep against Redirect 4-0, and that did our cause the world of good. Because up until week 4, we were pretty much on a draw. 1-1, lost 1, 2 draws. And now we had a convincing win, which is fabulous. So that gets us within 2 points of the top 2. Our goal difference is kind of hurting us right now. I mean, Prolific with Color Cold is shocking.
Shocking.
and then DSQ have been incredibly consistent. I mean, look at their record there. That is four wins, no draws, and only 1 loss. Same as Prolific. So that's where the Titanic struggle is right now, is between places 1 and 2. Jack's Dynasty doing great there, but the Jawlers, Order of Oaks, Bromeo, your boys, your peeps. We're separated by a goal difference of 2. It is very tight there.
And nothing could make me happier because Savashan actually came from Dynasty over to Jawlers. So Dynasty is helping us beat Dynasty at the end of the season.
Wow. Clearly we're everywhere.
That I'm looking forward to. It'll
need our players to win, it seems.
So when do Jacks take on Jawlers, or has this already happened?
Then we're going to beat your team too, so don't worry.
Hold on. When does that happen?
You can check to the right. No, just go to the right.
Oh, is it there?
All the way to the right.
Further.
Oh, look at that.
Further.
There's more.
There's further. And go to the drop down. Go to the drop down.
Yeah.
And then select your team.
We are the Jacks.
There we go. So we actually played in the first game of the season and we drew.
Yeah.
So the only time we're going to find out who is better is in the playoffs. So just know
assuming
it's going to get hard.
Assuming you get there, yes.
I mean, assuming we don't trade another one of your players and Dynasty goes through, just called Order of Oaks. So it is what it is, I suppose. But
but we've also got Ender now, and Ender I think he's making the Jacks very scary.
You guys might as well just change your name to Dynasty PRG at this point.
Oh, wow. And I'm very pleased to see that Unitox are not bringing up the rear here. They're actually just below that play-in section because they've had a rough season.
Yeah, Unity and Fort Templar have been having a rather rough time of things, just like the Order of Oaks prospect side. So it's always very interesting to see the way that this plays out, is because we've got a draft system, right? Which means on paper, every single team should be balanced, fair, equal. It's the small things, it's the small differences, it's the cohesion, the team play, the personality differences that ultimately shape what is a good team. So what I really find amazing is how Curica consistently selects epic teams. And we saw it with Valkyrie Knights last season. We're seeing it with Rival 4-1. That's looking great so far. And I'm constantly trying to figure out what makes these teams so good, because you never know. It's a lucky package. You're picking a bunch of players. You have no idea if this is going to be the most epic team that ever happened. So I'd love to find that out. And I'm sad that we didn't actually get that information from Curica, because I wasn't thinking at the time. But I just think that's a really cool thing to know.
And I think we see it now with the new Vitality team, which everyone's talking is like going to just walk their way through the 2025 season Olympic. I don't know what your thoughts are on it. And I'm very much like you, Bromy. I go, they're wonderful players, but we need to see them all play as a unit. Are they going to be as good as, are they a sum of their parts, greater than the sum of their parts, or less than it? Since we've veered off a little bit, Olympic, and I know we're trying to drag you into any part of the conversation we can, but what are your immediate thoughts?
Well, that rumor that roster's been rumored for like weeks now, and everyone's been dreading it, like pros in every part of the community, and it's been announced today. I think they're just gonna either steamroll or they're gonna flop. But it's like a 90% steamroll, because Exotic, Monkey Moon coming from the same team, winning Worlds last season. Zen, you don't even have to talk about Zen. It's Zen. He's a freak on the field, and they're all French, so it's just another reason to dislike the French. But no, we don't dislike the French. We
dislike the French. We love the Reunion Island French.
We dislike the French and the Spanish.
Oh, well, the Spanish for their own reasons. Okay. Let's move to Elite. So, Sean, this is now your territory.
I see an issue there, but it's okay. We move on from that.
Oh, okay.
For some reason, the Centurions and Swift do not have a result in. It's okay. I'll deal with that one afterwards.
I should have actually seen that. Sean's basically saying, Bromeo, why are you not doing your job, bro?
I mean, we have Star for a reason, but it's okay. It's fine. We move on. Okay, so week 5. That was an exciting week for us. I see Prototype and DSQ went head to head, which that would have been a cool game to watch. I think it was that one on stream.
I'm pretty sure that one was on stream, from what I recall.
No, it was the 9th or the 10th. The stream games were 10th.
Yeah, that's right.
Okay, so that would have been an exciting series to watch, because those are two pretty good teams, pretty strong. DSQ have been doing quite well in Elite, with a 3-0-2 currently on their record. Prototype as well have been doing quite well, because they've got Mercury and Teach. I don't know if he moved. I think he's still there. So they're quite strong all round. We scrim against them quite often as well, and it's a toughie. I'm not gonna lie, especially for me. But I'm washed, so it is what it is.
But I think it's important to have a look here. Prototype are in 4th position, but they're undefeated.
Yes.
I love that. That's wild. It's wild. So even though Darkness are 3-1-1 and Delta Force have lost 2 games, they've lost 2 games this season. They've only won 1 more game than they've lost, and they are higher up than Prototype. And I just love seeing stats like that, because Prototype hasn't put a foot wrong. They just haven't managed to win.
That's the beauty of the whole every match counts as a point in this whole situation because
now we're getting to the point. Not just every game counts, every goal counts. I mean, goal difference. I think is gonna at the halfway point looks like it's gonna play a factor. And right now the Prowlers are, I mean, on top with their 4 wins, but also their 23 goal difference, having scored 57. Holy moly, Delta Force 64 goals, but a bit leaky in defense though with their 46 conceded.
But Joe, can we go back to the results side, please?
We
sir?
can.
Yeah, he's using your page.
I am. I want to stare at the camera. Otherwise, I'll be looking to the left. Prowlers versus Montbéliard. That would have been an interesting one because Prowlers have been doing quite well, going up to this point, and to see that Unity, which actually has a new roster, which is Moose, Amexi, I think, and actually, you know what?
Well, we can. Who's that? Which? Well, I've got the
Unitox.
Unitox will be down. There we go.
Amexi, Sponsor Bombers, Hecky, and Little Moose. Now, I understand that Hecky is a sub in that situation with Little Moose, Sponsor Bombers, and Amexi. So I think they did a good job in rebuilding their roster for Elite, so they could pull their themselves out of the dumps there. Because Unitox did not strike the lucky packet, unfortunately, in the beginning of this season with regards to the draft. So I'm keen to see what this new Unity roster can do. So them being able to take a game off of XP is actually really good, seeing because XP is got quite a strong roster as well. They have Minoto on their team.
Oh,
and he's quite a little menace.
Yeah.
No, I get very excited with whatever he's doing. That's great.
Go back to the results, please, sir. Please. So then also now there were Queens versus Delta Force. Now this game we were very excited to play. I know I've been in chats with Ford Hilux, which is on the side of Delta Force a lot, because we'll chill after hours often because one of my good mates is Bruv on... I've got their name. Critical Forces side.
Yeah.
So we were hyping ourselves up coming up to this series, especially, and we really wanted it to get it on stream, even though it was a late stream, the 9 o'clock game, even though it was way after 9 o'clock, but we really wanted to play it on stream because we were excited about that series, both on Delta Forces side and on Queen's side, and we were very happy with our result. I mean, I was terrified to go in midway because what we often do is Rabbit and I will switch and we'll give our players that we signed more of the field time. So even if Rabbit's playing like a freaking star, he will still switch with me halfway through the series and then hope to God that I pull my socks up.
Okay. And did you?
I pulled my socks up in the third game and then bottled it in the last one.
Oh, shame. Shame.
So I gave them a little bit of a less of a punishment, I suppose.
It
was a very cool game.
Do we know the result of the Centurions and Swift series? I know it's not in there.
I don't even think, if they haven't even submitted it, then that's unfortunate because what the result will be is a double FF.
Oh, no.
Yeah. So that is a 0-0 and it shall remain.
Really?
If they haven't submitted, which it looks like they haven't, I can confirm, but I will check this after the stream.
Okay, cool. I was just curious because of the 3-1 result all the way down, except for that game we didn't know, so that would have been interesting.
That's a lot of 3-1s.
A lot of 3-1s. And then, yes?
And then Darkness Rollers were up on stream. I think that was either the first or the second game, and that was a cool one to watch because I never get to see Joker play in scrims, but I always see him playing in league matches or on stream, which is pretty sad because I do want to face him and demo him a couple times in the scrims. But you know what? Beggars can't be choosers.
They can
But I do remember this match especially because I was watching it. I think Rollers came out strong in the first game, which was quite surprising because Darkness is a strong roster. They've got the Truth on their side. And
Truth,
yes.
Yeah.
So to see them open up with a win, I think, was very cool. But then I think Darkness was just like, no, okay, chill. We're taking over here, and they just dominated the rest of the series. So that was very cool to watch, especially. But yeah,
Very nice.
and then unfortunate for poor Swift and Centurions.
Yeah.
To be honest, I think Swift would have come out on top of that one, in my opinion.
Speculative. All right. So Olympic. Now you get to talk us through Master.
Week 5, obviously, not week 6.
Yeah.
Oh, right.
Week 6,
5.
I can only predict one game, and that's Kings winning. So.
Wow.
Wow.
So talking about Kings winning 3-1, I wasn't a part of the roster. I'd work duties, but the boys, I just want to take a minute to talk about this Master roster, because even Falcon's seen it, Rabbit's seen it, they've watched games from ours. Anyone can hop in and put in a shift, put in work. And taking down Abyss 3-1, pushing us up into first is honestly magical thing. Still undefeated, but those 2 draws, I'm a bit heartbroken over some of those draws. But yeah, Miram versus Devour is a 2-2 draw there. I'm not very educated with the rosters. I kind of just hop in the day of and be like, oh, we're playing these people, and take it from there. There are a lot of draws here, 2-3-1s and a sweep. Nguni Professor's another draw. I just like seeing Voodoo's team not win. I'd rather see them lose.
Wow.
But
You hear this guy?
yeah, I'm out for blood.
The DSQ Devourers, the Miram Devourers draw was actually, that was a good result in terms of the Kings, because DSQ up there. So for me, that was the preferred result.
Yeah, and if you even look at the table, the Kings, Alpha Force, and Miram all undefeated, like just halfway through or more than halfway through the season. So it's gonna be ramping up going into the final leg of this. But talking about seeing Voodoo's team not win, only thing I like seeing more is Order of the Oaks losing, because I don't have beef. I'll call it banter, because I just want to see Oaks flatten Order of the Oaks.
No, do you know what? We're actually just, giving everybody else a chance, building their confidence, because, we're working on our gains in the background, and we'll come out and smash some minutes later in the season. Waller's side, they have been underperforming quite somewhat. Werty, Willant, Teacher, that's quite a good team. So they haven't been getting the results, and it's interesting because it is a really good team. So I don't think they're going to finish there. I think that there's going to be a little bit of a watershed moment, a little bit of a renaissance, and I think they'll pull it back. I mean, especially now because Mr. Olympic is coming here and giving us flames. But I was actually going to suggest, since we've got a rival dynasty player, we've got an elite dynasty player, we've got a master dynasty player, might as well, next week, just, swap me out for like Dogman or somebody, and then it can be the dynasty show.
Maybe you should focus on smashing the net, and then instead of those bunnets, Brute, then you
Go work on the games.
So this is the one tier there where Fort Templar are actually there and thereabouts.
I'm so sorry, Friday, if you're watching this. Greybeard isn't meaning to flame your entire org, but
I'm not. I'm just saying that they're having a struggle, but it's nice to see that in Master they're in thereabouts. In Fourth, they're in there. Yeah.
He's like, you know what? Your prospects, your rivals, and your elite have been absolutely cock. But you know what? Your Masters, mid-table, not bad, bro.
Eesh, okay. All right, Olympic. Tell me about. So you're playing Bro. How are we feeling about that?
I know Eli's on the team. I can't remember who's partnered with him.
Eli, Yoshi, and Breezy.
Eli, Yoshi, and Breezy. So strong roster, not a scary roster, but it is a strong roster indeed. I don't wanna jinx ourselves and then we lose like 3-1, but very confident. Just have to watch out for Eli. Maybe I'll just sit out again, let the boys put in their work. I'll be here having a nap probably. I'm getting old. Let them work, but very confident. And going back to what Bromeo said in one of the other tiers, how there's a team that's undefeated but not in the what is it, top 6 or top 4. If you
They
look
were
in,
fourth, yeah.
if you look in the bottom 8 and 9th have won a game, and there's 2 teams above them that haven't won, but just due to the all games matter in this 4-game series, it's very important not to leak goals and not to let games get away from you.
Can be won.
Because
Every game counts.
Yeah, because in RLCS, Comic-Con, all those things, if you're losing like 4-0, 5-0, you'll kind of just reset, don't really worry about the game. But here, you're losing 4-0, 5-0, you're going to have to be like, hey, let's wake up, let's get some goals back, get some momentum back, not let this hammering look like we're getting cyber-bullied into next week. So...
Goonie and Devourers seeing if they can draw their way into playoffs.
Who was it last season who literally drew pretty much every single game they played? I can't remember who it was. I'm gonna find it. I think it was like Yoshi's team or somebody like that.
Yoshi was with us.
They drew and they drew and they drew, and they were actually like top. They finished top, even though
I think
they just keep drawing.
It wasn't Dynasty Season 1, was it? We weren't drawing.
No. Not Dynasty. Because Dynasty wasn't here last season.
Was it
They're a rather
Redirect?
interloping organization.
Oh, and to add to that Olympic, Zany is also part of the bro roster.
Oh, okay. That makes it a little bit more scary. Hearing Zany's name, I'm like, oh shit, yeah. So it's Zany, Elon, most probably Breezy. That's a roster and a half. But it's just gonna be like, I know this. I'm not trying to be toxic, but I know mental is a big factor in all of these games. And if you think you're a good player and you take a loss to like players who are below you, that can affect you. So I know mind games are going to be at play. I don't know from who though. That's going to be very, very,
Depends
very
on
weird.
the day, I suppose.
Depends on the day, and but yeah, we should be able to take the win there. I'm just happy to be here. that's
Romeo, I see Rabbit says it might have been us at Valkyrie. I don't know, Rabbit. All I saw was a trophy on the end of my name because I was in season 2.
Oh my gosh! Listen to this guy.
Two trophies here on the podcast. It's crazy how they're in the same org as well.
I have a season 10 grand champion tag. No one cares.
Where's your trophy? Where's your trophy, Romeo?
My trophy was all the hearts we won along the way. Shut up.
Oh my. Are we ready for players of the week?
Yeah, bring it. As long as it shuts up Sean.
Okay, let's go. We're going to run. We're going to I'm noticing, I think for the first time this in our podcasting journey, we have someone from each tier on the podcast, which is quite nice.
That actually is quite cool.
Yeah, it is good. All right. Players of the week, starting in Prospect. Sean.
I'm joking. So, players of the week, well done to the guys that are showing up on here in Prospect.
Yo.
Obviously, we all kind of had the idea that this name would show up here, and that is
I thought it would show up on the rival tier, to be honest.
Okay, Cope over there because he's sad. Players get better.
Yo.
So Clerks doing very well, very, very well. Actually slapping in 7 of the 8 goals in that one game this week during their series.
Banger.
Getting top of the MVP for points per game with 782.5 points. So that is mad.
That's amazing.
Yeah, that is wild.
Well, listen, it's
especially
four goals a game. I mean, that's
it's insane.
that pads the stats nicely.
But we got to also owe it to his teammate, the High Frequency, obviously being the playmaker for that team, putting in the work to make sure Clerk shines on top, which is also fantastic. And then, to my surprise, the Gatto Mew showing up in a first place for the striker for shooting percentage, which is huge because I was not
100%. Hold on a second.
Did he score one goal?
That's what I want to know. Did he score a goal?
No, but obviously he was slapping it at the net, and that's all that matters, because in Prospect, I would say hitting it on target is probably better than actually getting the goals at the end of the day. Causes a lot of panic. Everybody panics, everybody dives, and they all shit themselves when that ball is hurling towards their net.
Okay.
Then Atomic Bomb doing very well as the team savior with a 2.3 goal saves. I think, is that average? That is that's average.
Yes.
2.33 saves per game.
Which is also fantastic. And then with our second place boys, we got Creven, Slowpokes, Misty Dragon, Tox, and a Great Flace also doing very well. Those are quite consistent. I usually see them quite often on Players of the Week, and now we're on week 5, and I'm still seeing them there. So they're obviously putting in very good work during their RSC season. Then we got DSF Kai, Alex Dufatak only getting 1 goal, shame. Tox, Pixel Glitch, and Josh Zede. All getting their 3rd places there. So very well done to these players. They do deserve it. They put in a lot of work.
Nicely done.
We go on to Rival now for week 5.
Ooh, look
Order
at
of Oaks
this.
seem to have popped off.
Finally.
This is how it looks how it should do at this point.
It's okay. Order of Jokes has to get their chance.
Order of Jokes. Hey, I can tell you right now, Sean didn't come up with that one. It was probably Clever Rabbit.
Oh no, that is the thumbnail for the diss track that we did.
Oh right, yes, I remember that. Wow, it feels like such a long time ago already, but I feel like I got to add that onto my Spotify playlist. Send me a link.
I think I don't know. I have to find it again. It's still a banger. I've listened to it like 5, 6, 7 times. But anyways, moving on. For MVP points per game, Mr. Green putting in a lot of work with 529. Sorry, I rounded off. 529 points per game, which is fantastic. Or yes, points per game. Actually, shit. Now that it's actually an average, it blows my mind even more. Sebastian doing very well, getting 1.75 goals per game, so doing well in finishing for the team. And then Mr. Green being the playmaker, which is also fantastic. Supporting Sebastian, I assume, because it seems that he supported the only goals that Sebastian got, it looks like, based on the stats, which is cool. Then Flash making a showing here in striker for shooting percentage with a 54.5 shooting percentage, which is fantastic. Well done, Flash. And Wrecked on the savior, putting in 3.2 saves per game.
That is a large amount of saves per game. 3.25.
He must.
It means he got a savior every game.
Yes, this man was on roids, clearly. So I don't know what they put in his juice that day. Maybe he took some out of the Order of Oaks locker room. So we'll have to just have words. And then for our second place boys, we've got Zede Domino, Complex RL, another Dynasty boy, Amiru, Complex again, and Mr. Green on the savior side with 2.5. So Mr. Green had a stellar week this week. Then in third place, we got Wrecked, Flash, Fancy Lizard, iFly Aware, and Durability. Also an important note that I should have mentioned earlier when we were talking about the DSQ and the rival side. They did a roster rebuild recently.
Who are we talking about?
DSQ.
DSQ, okay.
They did a whole roster rebuild for their rival side. So it's nice to see that they still came out with I think it was the win this week, which is cool. So obviously whatever they did, it's working. So congrats to those gents.
Well done. That's always tough to come back from. And I know we're flaming Fort Templar, but I think Fort Templar's in the middle of rebuilding another roster as well, like completely cut their entire roster.
I will give the info on that during the transfer segment.
Oh, okay. Stay tuned.
Yeah, I'm actually excited for this one.
Elite.
Okay, for Elite, we have a couple names that are showing up again. Yeah, you want to say? Well,
first and foremost, as nice as not completely dominated like the other tiers were. I mean, we got Shadow who are there twice, but Dynasty and Order of Oaks and the other tiers were kind of all over the place. So a little better spread here.
Yeah, it's fantastic. I mean, a couple of players from all over, some Unitox, XP, Shadow, Order of Oaks, Dynasty. Like it's fantastic. It's good to see. It shows me that there's a little bit more balance in the tier at least as well, because there's a lot of outshining players in each team. So it's fantastic to see. With our MVP, Minoto, coming in with almost 600 points per game.
My man.
Well
played, bud. Well played.
And then for finishes, our goals per game, Shadows, one and only The Truth, coming through and carrying his team during that series against Order of Oaks, because shame. They suck, but it's okay. I'm joking.
If my hand-eye coordination wasn't as good as it is, I'd have trouble catching all of this.
And then for striker, shooting percentage, which maybe if Terrible could convert some of the goals, then he would have put up more of a fight with Shadow on the stream day. But other than that, he did very well in. Actually, I did watch the stream, and Czar Terrible did play very well during that time.
He really did.
I think it was Joker that I wish could have done a bit more, because I know he can do more, but I don't know if he was doing very well on that day. I don't know what was going on.
You're sure. No, you can call out my entire
No,
entire
I'm
franchise,
sad
but
because
now you can't call out
Joker's
my
a
players.
homie,
I will
dude.
fight you.
Joker is a homie, and I wish I could see that he wasn't playing his best. So it was very sad for me to watch. It was hard. It was hard to watch. But Terrible doing very well with a 71.43% shooting percentage during that series against Shadow, when they came out and decided, no, we're going to shut these boys down. But with Zar, but still being able to do that is fantastic. So well done to Zar. Lonely J on Shadow also doing very well in supporting the truth. But they do work very well together. I've watched them quite a few times. And then Mercury on Bro, he is probably, I would arguably say, their strongest player on that roster. He does very well. I've scrimmed against him, and he's very scary. If we don't lock him down, then he's just going to get away with everything. So, very well done to him, being the savior with 3 saves per game. So, well done to Mercury. Then with our second players, we have a Unitox showing with the Mexi. We have Minoto again, Mercury, Minoto, and then Flosi with the savior for his team for DSQ. So well done to Flosi. Mercury showing up again in third. Mercury showing up again. See, he's a very scary player, this one. And then me.
Yay!
This is actually my second time showing up on a Players of the Week. I think last time was in Saviors. So I'm very proud of myself. I'm not going to lie.
Well done, Sean.
well,
you did good.
I wasn't even near the top. I wasn't even near the top last season. So this time it's nice, I suppose. Chase coming up in third there as well for Playmaker, and then Terrible showing up as the team's savior for Order of Oaks. So well done to all the players in Elite.
Terrible getting a bit of love in chat.
Yeah.
As a coach, which is pretty good, and he gets the Dogman's vote for coach of the league.
Honestly, truthfully told, I think he's coached half of the teams in the league at this point by now, because that's truly what he does. And he's so damn good at it. And Dogman, I completely agree with you there. Valid comment. And Zar, if you're watching, which I don't think you are because you're probably coaching someone, keep it up, man. It's brilliant.
He's currently coaching the Dynasty Prospect team.
There we go.
Dokers! Hence the love from the Dogman.
Yeah, because Terrible was with our Elite Dynasty side early on in the season, and then got poached out by Order of Oaks. But he asked us if he could please still coach the Prospect team, because he did start putting in work.
Nice.
So we said, yeah, no, why not? Carry on with it.
As you were.
He's been putting a lot
if you
of work.
must.
So well done to all the Elite players that showed up on Players of the Week for Week 5. You've been all fantastic. Now we have
all right, Ollie. Take us through the Players of the Week for Master.
I'm seeing Dynasty and I'm seeing Gold, which is good. So Happy Meal, points per game, you kind of expect it from him. Experience, accolades, menace on the field, as well as 2.75 goals per game. Sorry, I didn't say I got 623.25 points, which is average crazy.
Yeah,
it's just crazy. In Master as well, where the players probably I'm not going to say the toughest because it's tough respectively in all tiers, but 623 is crazy. Eli with 83.3% shooting percentage. That man knows how to shoot. He can shoot. He can hit the ball very hard on target, and that's probably a good thing for Bro. They need it at the moment. Definitely this week. Daps coming in with 1.5 assists per game. It's what he does. Assisting Declan, assisting Friction Comic-Con. He's a phenomenal player, star player. What can you expect? And Eli's here again with 3 saves per game. Like, what is he not doing for this bro team? Even getting a second in points per game with 517. Eli, second in goals per game as well. I can't stop talking about this man.
Wow.
It seems like Willen second in shooting, Breezy second in assists, Xavier, also Yoshi there. And then third place, we've got Jeff for points. Teacher, goals, Happy Meal, shooting percentage. Good to see that up after our draw 2 weeks ago, which was a very heartbreaking game. Willen assists for third place, and Casper 2.5 saves per game, coming up third place, rounding off the master tier here.
And looking at those names, the players in each category, I mean, those are stars in the region there. Happy Meal, Eli, like, Daps. I mean, it's like these are these are the big boys showing the stuff.
Yeah, I was busy thinking of like a cool story to like talk about Eliakim, but every time I think of a story about him, it's like an RLCS story. You know, we're talking about the renaissance of Eliakim when he was up and coming in the last couple of splits in the RLCS, because he had a fantastic last split.
Yes.
In the RLCS. And I think that's such a cool thing to talk about, is that Eliakim, Happy Meal, Daps, these are all really, really big players. I mean, we recognize each and every one of these names, except for Breezy. I don't know who he is.
Yeah.
But and I mean, Yoshi, I recognize mainly because he talks a lot, but I haven't seen him play too much Rocket League.
But you know what's very scary?
We need another play there. Is first on streams, and Yoshi will win that every week.
Yeah,
for sure. But I think it's really, really cool of these gents to give up their time back to the community to play with different players, because I mean, I'm sure that Ollie can attest to this, that all of the teams at the top, they might have roster shakeups every split, but it's still the same group of players who just play ringa rosy around the different teams. So I think what is really cool about RSC is that you get to be in a team with Happy Meal, and you get to play 9 series with Happy Meal as your teammate, which would never have happened usually. And the Omnotos of this future get to play with the people they were taking photographs with.
Yes.
And I think that's the beauty of what we're doing here. And I know it's a very big tangent, but whenever I see lists like this and I see Happy Meal, Eli, Daps, all of them, I'm always just grateful, because there's so many players who don't.
Yes.
And so I must every time remain cognizant that these gents are doing their community a big one, because I know that they're always scrimming. I know that, they are the pros of the scene. I mean, even Ollie, who comes and graces us with a couple of demos every now and then, thanks, bro. We appreciate you.
Thank you.
And so I just think that's really cool.
I've got 2 points to add on here. Seeing Eli's name so much, the only scarier thing is he's got a little brother who played with him at Comic-Con, Dalton. And seeing how good Dalton is now, I don't know how old he is, what his plans are for the future, but seeing how good Eli is now and him mentoring Dalton, I'm just glad I'm getting towards the back end of playing Rocket League. That's a very scary thing. And then you talking about these pros coming in, Happy Meal, Eli, Daps, respected players. I'm just happy I got carried to a season 1 win with To Die For on my team. Like, that's all I can ask for. Totally wasn't a carry. We all put in our part. But
no, completely. Yeah. No.
But like what you're saying, I feel like there's different tiers to the pro scene as well. You've got the upper echelon, and then you've got like bubble players, like I would say myself, like in and out of form. And then you've got players like Eli and Happy and Daps who have always been up there. Just like want to thank them for giving their time, because I know how strenuous scrim times are, 2-3 hours a day, multiple times a week, and then just putting out like 30-40 minutes to play RSC, give back to the community, play with players they've never played before. It's really good to see, not just for the high tier players coming down a level and playing with players they've never done, taking that like, hey, they're not above anyone else. And it's also just showing our community. It'll help our community grow, catch up to top tier teams, catch up to RLCS as a whole. And it's just very good for our region. So I want to thank them, thank the pros. And
I
Great
agree
shout.
with that so much. I mean, Greybeard was talking about it, like how we're going to get ourselves better, and this is how we get ourselves better.
Yeah.
Yeah,
And also
actually-
a huge thank you to RSC. This is what, third season, many more to come, putting up with the amount of BS that this community can throw at a tournament organizer, one included. But just being able to slug it out, the amazing spreadsheets, the stats, the amazing atmosphere as well. It's a blessing to get so many groups and communities involved, rooting for low level players, watching high tier players play. And I'm gonna go on a tangent here. I was even talking to people about RSC, about how it lets pro players get game time in if there's no scrims, and it's also a place for, even if you're not high in the game, say Greybeard, all three of you actually getting able to play. No, not no.
No, we take it from where it comes, Ollie.
Not-
This is the new Ollie. We get it.
It's an opportunity for players who can't experience high level gameplay to play in a competitive scenario region with multiple games once a week, having that finals, prize pool or not. I know this community will show up, put their best foot forward, play the hardest they can, and it's exciting to see how the region's going to grow and just skyrocket into the future ahead of us.
Well said, Ollie. That's great. And
I do.
Yeah,
Carry on, Greybeard. No, sorry, I'm interrupting you. Okay.
No.
So I was holding on to the thought as long as possible because Bromeo mentioned that there isn't really a story for Eli outside of RLCS, but he does have somewhat of an RSC story. So Eli, he's got a high MMR, right? He's quite an expensive player.
All right. Yep.
So he was picked, but he didn't really stay on rosters during like season 1 and season 2. So he never really got a chance to actually show himself off in RSC because he would be dropped and he would remain in FA for like the remainder of the season because he was too expensive. So now with our caps changing a bit because there were a couple 2100 players coming in during season 3, it kind of increase the tier cap size so that we could afford the players like Eliakim. So this is actually probably his first season where he's consistently been on a team and competing in RSC.
Yeah, that's actually really, really cool because it is the downside of a draft when you've got a really good player at the very limit of the points, the points cap. And Eli is a very good player, but he's also a very expensive player. And if you want an expensive player, it means you have to sacrifice points on all of your other players. And like Sean said, Eli didn't get enough time in season 1 and season 2. And it makes me so happy that he stuck around and persisted because season 3, he's absolutely crushing it. So super proud.
I have been convincing him every time to just sign up and take a chance.
Excellent.
And he always comes and says, but I'm going to be FA. I'm like, no, you won't. And he falls for it in season 1 and season 2, but season 3, it finally paid off. So third time's a charm.
So on the subject of stories and players, as we wrap up the Master Players of the Week, I got to spend some time with Happy Meal this week because we're actually doing some VS Gaming TV thing together, which is quite interesting, and news will come out on that. But we got to sit and chat for a bit. And here's something I promise you I don't think anybody knows. I had no idea about this, about Happy Meal, is that he is a competitive archer.
No, but that does seem like standard Happy Meal. Like, I mean, if you could actually tell me any fact about Happy Meal, and I would probably believe you because he just seems like the kind of dude. But archery,
archery. And he was all excited because he was going to go pick up some weights or blah blah for his bow that he bought, and he was going to head to the range to try it out. And I'm like, my mind is blown. I'm like, this is incredible. There's like this whole other side to this guy I had no idea, which is fantastic.
So the moral of the story is like you mustn't try and run away because he'd just be like,
So we've got a Hawkeye in SSA is what we're saying.
Yeah, call him Hawkeye.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah.
Maybe that's why he put in 2.7 goals this week.
Yeah, doesn't miss a spot, eh?
Isn't there an Abacus player that was like a semi-pro player somewhere in SSA? I swear there was someone that did something with Abacus.
Graybeard's trying to move us along. You're talking.
I don't know what that is.
Okay.
Okay, never mind. We're gonna move on. It's fine.
Teach Ollie what an abacus is, and then he'll try and remember. Okay, moving along. Team of the week, made from the players of the week. Sean, who is our team of the week?
So, team of the week, I like to try and shine a light on a couple players that don't get to often show up in team of the week, even though we all know that Eliakim was doing so fantastic in Master, but I couldn't put him in another one. I had to choose another player that didn't get a chance, that also did very well. And for our Master player, we have Happy Meal. And please, it's not biased, I promise.
Oh, no, of course not.
I had no time to be
just like the
biased.
stream.
It's
There's
not
good
opinion-based or
representation
anything,
from Dynasty.
I had no time to be biased because I thought I was running on 30 minutes, but obviously gave myself a heart attack thinking we were starting at 6:30, but it's okay. We move on from that. Then for Elite, we have Mercury for Prototype. And then for Rival, we got Mr. Green for Jawlers. And then for Prospect, we have Clerks in Jokers. So very well done to the players for making Team of the Week. We are very proud of you guys. Keep it up.
We should organize a thing where the teams of the week over the various weeks get to play one another in something.
They should do a 2v2 at the end of it, yeah.
Yeah, and my heart sinks at the thought of organizing yet another thing, but it does, as an idea, it's pretty solid.
I mean, why don't we just 4v4 chaos mode this bitch? And then
No. Everybody on stream right now takes on these boys. That would be fun.
Whoa.
All right, let's move along now to, we're quickly going to do tweets, RSC tweets. So if you've been tweeting RSC S3 and not enough people use the hashtag, but there are a few interesting things, so we should have a look. And
Yoshi's busy tweeting right now.
Yeah, exactly.
Like I can tell you.
He's
going to be a Yoshi
sandwiches
tweet.
with his top on and top off. Is that what we're expecting?
And we'll and given the state of Ollie's hair, we'll start with that one. So this was tweeted by Melissa, who took this photo at VS Gaming, and that was quite the mop of hair you had there at Comic-Con just a couple of weeks ago.
Yeah. It's also it's aged like milk, this photo. I know exactly where this is from. I know exactly what reverse sweep this is from as well. But it was a great time, and being able to put some personality at Comic-Con, try and get the crowd riled up, was honestly, I didn't really care about results. I just wanted to see the crowd go nuts. I wanted to see shit hit the fan, and it may have hit the fan too hard against me, but hey.
You know what? That looks like a profile picture, bro. It goes hard.
Yeah.
And no one cares about results when you don't get them. I'm there all the time. I get that. Okay, moving. And then on the subject of Melissa, this is pretty cool. So Raven have put up a vote for this week's banner of the week, and they take various photos out of the esports scene, and you get to vote on which is the best. And Melissa's has been featured. We put this on the podcast last week. This was a photo taken at Comic-Con at the moment that Genesis took the championship, which I think is a pretty kick-ass photo. So what you need to do is go to this tweet and click and then vote. And
I think the results are in. Click on it.
No, I don't think it's in because hold on.
Click on the tweet, the original tweet.
Right.
Yes,
well,
it is.
No, that's my
22
vote.
hours
There's
left.
22 hours left. So far that photo is 66% of the vote. Aftermath is struggling at 0.
Nice. Let's go, Melissa.
Your GB bringing the clout.
Yeah, absolutely. I'm like, okay. All right,
Let's
fine.
go, Melissa.
Am I still? Oh, no, I'm not.
Yeah, you're still in the post.
Yeah, there we go. Okay. Yoshi.
There you go.
Okay, so this does bring up a point, because I put out a poll in Discord and on Twitter and said, what's a good time for the podcast to start? We've settled on it being a Monday night because then we've got the complete week to talk about. But then what time should we start? And I thought the obvious time was 7 o'clock.
Obviously,
right? So I had 6 o'clock, 7 o'clock, 8 o'clock, and 9 o'clock as an option. And the two most popular were 6 o'clock and 8 o'clock, which blew me away. The least popular was 7 o'clock. And then third was 9 o'clock. I'm like,
Do you
okay,
know what? We should do a new vote. And this time, chat, when you are not doing drugs, please put a vote through. Because what? 9 o'clock? Who's going to sit and listen to Greybeard and Sean banter about Dynasty at like 9:30 at night?
And Order of Oaks losing the whole time. I don't know.
What is it? Shenanigans from the fellas. What is this? What did you post here, Yoshi? Is this even legit? This just looks weird.
Random crap.
Yeah, it's just friends sharing an energy drink.
Yeah.
You know, kids.
Okay, the mid-season tournament tweet from Rabbit, of course, because Broder Knight is doing as well as they are, and then DSQ's fixtures, and shout out to DSQ because they are one of the few franchises that do well with their socials. So I'm pleased to see that.
They're one of the few who do any socials.
Yeah. And then
this is old.
and then Flosi saying hi chat from a week ago. So
Yeah, that was during.
not enough use of the RSC S3 hashtag. So get out there and get on it. And that then brings us to Clip of the Week, sponsored by Unity. This all happens in Unity's Discord. There's a theme each week, and I had an appeal from Voodoo, and we will put it out on Twitter as well, because it tends to be the same guys submitting clips. There are how many? There's 4 tiers, 10 franchises. That's a lot of people, a lot of teams. Get your clips in. There is a little bit of a money reward for Clip of the Week. And how it works is you submit a clip that relates to the theme, and it's then voted for, and the winner gets 150 ronts in cash. And last week's theme was, I think it was aerial assault. What did Voodoo call it?
Wasn't it anything?
No. That was the week before that. Last week was it was air dribble, airborne assault. And these are our 3 clips, starting at 3rd place.
Do we know who this is?
We'll see when he scores.
Oh wow.
Okay.
Oh no, it doesn't say. It doesn't
doesn't
say. Who scored. Okay.
It's Mr. Nobody. That's who it
Tell us
is.
now.
I will tell you. I'll tell you exactly who it is. I try not to watch these beforehand, so I'm as delighted as everybody else. But that was in 3rd place was Banana Cat.
Oh, nice.
That was a really good goal.
Now I want to watch that again because that, I mean, to me, this is 3rd. This is 3rd place. The other ones better be really good because
That looked like a vintage to die for setup.
yes, that was good.
It didn't bounce. He
loses points on the bounce, does he?
No,
Okay.
it didn't. It didn't bounce.
It
didn't bounce.
Did a micro.
No.
Yeah, even more points. That's what he
Okay,
said.
one more time. Now we're watching for the bounce. Did
I think
it
the flip
bounce?
reset wasn't clean enough. That's why.
We're talking about like
No,
a clean
go ahead.
reset, like we can do that.
No, but that's I'm trying to assume what would they judge it on? You know, like how does
They
that
were just
get
judged on votes. So
So it's the community.
yeah, so I
they
doubt
all-
that they were given like a 10.5 for the pirouette that they did on the way into the goal. You know,
WWZD. What would Zen do? Okay, this is number 2. Oh, great lyrics.
Oh,
This
wow.
is good. What?
Good thing you can't hear it on stream.
You can hear it on stream.
Oh,
You should.
oh.
Yeah.
Oh, I'm just done. Whoops.
Now, what's unfortunate about that is that the sizing was all weird.
That was actually crazy though. Yo.
Okay,
How
we're gonna
glued
watch
to
it
his
again.
cars.
I didn't resize it. No, that's not the one.
no, that's the one.
Yeah, la. Just go over the lyrics.
That's sat on the
The front of his car.
the front of a car like glue.
That's nuts.
There was Danny Bo. Who's
That was-
Danny Bo?
I think that's Dan.
I mean, it is someone in our region, right?
I mean, we hope, but it doesn't have to be.
Okay. Oh, well, there you go. Okay, then now taking 1st place, number 1. Here we go. No, there is no sound on this one. Looks like a 1v1.
This is a pinch. I'm gonna cry.
Oh, no way.
Yeah.
No.
Jeepers.
Oh,
No,
my
no
God.
bounces.
Okay.
I
at all.
know Brady. I've
The
run
guy just
across him,
leaves.
huh?
You know what the best part of that is watching this. The guy scores an absolute cracker off the sidewall, and his opponent just leaves, and it's
This
the
is
first
in the
goal.
first 40 seconds as well.
Yo. He
This is
goes,
the first.
he goes,
This is
the
like
goal
just
in.
started.
Yeah, I've had enough of this.
Fair play, like.
Nicely done, Brady. And he takes goal of the week. And the theme for the upcoming week is... Yeah, keep going. Oh, for week 6 clip of the week, theme is redirects. One of my favorite things, a redirect. So when you get banger redirects, clip it, get it into the Unity Discord and let them vote on it.
Don't let the Smurfs win like TTV Brady.
Yeah.
We haven't done transfers.
Oh, I knew. Did you send me a graphic?
I did, yes.
Are you sure?
Are you
I'm
very
100%
sure? Because I didn't see it either.
Where did you put it?
Oh, no, he did send it. He just sent it late.
I sent it at 6:30.
Okay. But you know what? That's easy to fix. Well spotted. So I'm going to
It's a very short list this time, thank God.
Yeah, it is quite a short list. And we get to see what we were talking about earlier with Fort Templar. Crisis.
All right. Graphic is loaded, which means we can go back here. And,
yes, it's what's. Oh.
and in theory, we can do that.
there you
Bang!
go.
Roster changes.
All right, so this week's roster changes. It was a lot more quiet in a way.
Well, it was generally quiet, very loud in Fort Templar.
Yes, unfortunately for Templar, they had a bit of a rough time, but we'll start with Prospect first. So Urban One Fenter was transferred out of Unitox over to DSQ on the Prospect side, and then they did this so that they could make space to sign Frenchie. Now, Frenchie was originally signed to Critical Force, I think, in the start, and which was weird to me to see because Frenchie was a part of like the little group of friend trio that was
the Cabal.
The Bruv, Swifty, and Frenchie. They've been friends for like a very long time before they.
Your trouble in paradise.
So I think either he left Critical Force so that he could possibly get more game time, and obviously now Unitox decided they want to pick him up. So good luck to those two players. And then we move on to Rival, where they should hit the fan royally.
Wow.
So
That's the entire four-man roster, transferring Ace, releasing Jezereza, releasing Vanderpanda, and releasing Grootforce.
So think about it as like a piece of string that has a small piece of thread sticking out. And if you pull that thread out, then everything else falls apart. So what happened was XP got into contact with Fort Templar and then basically legally poached the captain of Fort Templar's rival team, Ace, out.
Legally poached.
Legally
it's not
poached,
legally poaching. They signed him.
No, it's a transfer. So it was a poach. It was a poach transfer. That's what it was. Like you guys did to us with Zar and Svarshan, but we're gonna move on from that. And then after that happened,
not at all.
I believe and after that happened, I believe Jezereza, Vanderpanda, and Grootforce all wanted to get cut.
Wow!
Right afterwards, so this
Toxic.
put poor Friday into a poor panic, and he now has to do a complete roster rebuild.
So there's no new players signed yet?
There's no current players signed to Fort Templar Rival.
Are they trolling the free agent pool?
They're busy trying. I mean, I know that they do have a limited amount of time to get that sorted, but they are working hard to get some players into their rival side as fast as possible. So they're busy hosting tryouts, I believe. Probably currently and during this week, I believe. And so good luck to poor Friday. He's got his work cut out for him on that side.
And then obviously last but not least, Nerfquake getting released. Like Nerfquake, I know him personally from the bro server. He's like a cat. He comes in and then he leaves, and then he comes in and then he leaves, and he does this every season in RSC too. I think he is literally the most transferred player. If there was to be a record and we were to find it, Nerfquake would be there. I'm telling you now.
Also, a thing to touch on that, players need to be careful how many times they decide to get themselves cut and signed. Because if they hit a maximum of 3 franchises, like been signed to 3 franchises, and if they get cut again or cut themselves again, they immediately turn into PFA.
Hey.
Oh.
So they cannot be signed again because they've basically run out of their little signing slots. It's too... So... yeah, players watch out. But yeah, that's the transfers for this week, which is cool. Nothing, all quiet in Elite and all quiet in Master. So I think those they're all happy on that side. I hope. So, but yeah,
Alrighty.
on that.
Well, there we go. I think that brings out. Have we covered everything we need to cover? Is there any outstanding issues?
I mean, chat, feel free to tell us if you think we missed something, but I think we've covered the big ones. We've covered the tournament. We have covered roster changes. We've covered results. We've covered the reason why Ollie's receding hairline has got less hair. And yeah, I honestly think that's it.
All right. Well, then things to remember. This is week 6. Stream on Thursday night. All teams have signed up, and I've got to say, and I'm sure it is a correlation and causation. Since we started doing player interviews, I'm getting DMs as early as Saturday to book streams on Thursday. So,
oh man, that marketing works.
So it's great to see teams are booking early. We have all 4 slots taken for Thursday night. We have 2 rival games, a prospect game and a master game for this Thursday. So that'll be on the 17th, this coming Thursday. And then it is the Rebellion finals on Saturday, times TBC. But that'll be coming up over the weekend. And that's it for the immediate future. I think we are going to go and raid Johnny Boy. Out of all the big streamers who don't really need our views, they're the only ones live right now. So
I see Shen's online playing Rocket League.
Too late now. We're doing Johnny Boy. So there we go. So until Thursday, from me, Greybeard, from the Bromeo, from Falcon, and our guest panelist for the night, the all new improved Olympic. But from us to all of you, peace. We're out.
Peace.
Cheers.